Mike Epps and what's that nigga name?
Kenya
Dang it.
Bears.
Kenya Barris. Mike Epps and Kenya Barris. And Kenya Barris is known for his work with Blackish. He had his own Netflix series. What was it called?
I don't remember, but it was with Kadala Jones, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he had his own Netflix series, and he's just a famous. He was a famous behind the scenes guy who now is in the front of the camera as well. And apparently, him and Mike Epps wanted to team up for a series on Paramount. Well, a Paramount. It's a CBS show.
CBS. Mhm.
Yeah, and Paramount's the one that's paying for it because they own CBS, and it's pretty much making the forest fires of what was that 2024? Was that last year?
Yeah, it
Or
was
was it?
less, I think less
Yeah,
than a year ago. So yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Making the California forest fires the backdrop of a sitcom where uh if I remember correctly, a family loses everything and then they
Yeah, so
realize,
so
yeah,
here's the synopsis. It's created. This comes from BET Studios. The show is about two brothers, estranged black brothers, that live in Altadena, which is like the historic black neighborhood that was really affected by the wildfires there. One played by Epps, they reunite to the to sell the late grandmother's house to private developers. When they learn her caretaker now owns part of the home and refuses to sell, they wants to live together and confront the differences of what community and legacy and family really mean. That's the premise. So yeah.
yeah, it's kind of tone deaf than a motherfucker, ain't it?
I mean, well, yeah, it's more so I would say the timing and the type of thing they're doing. Because I mean, you think about in the past, you think like we'll go way back, like the Rodney King riots in the 90s. After that, remember they had an episode of Different World where they addressed it. They also had an episode of Fresh Prince where they addressed it. You know, and so both of those, I mean, obviously both of those are sitcoms, and they addressed it, but they sort of with this, I think it's more so like the timing because I mean, like I said, it was less than a year ago. But and also like the level of devastation, because I mean I mean obviously the riots are pretty bad, but just, I think Different World and Freshman to a degree they had a track record of proving they could tackle serious issues. And also it wasn't the entire premise of the show. Like the entire premise of the show wasn't about the riots. It was just like a very special episode with those two shows. The entire thing is about these two brothers, reuniting after this fire and sort of having, and trying to reconnect with each other, in a sitcom format. So it's like, what's that like? Especially like, Mike Epps, and I guess I'm assuming Kenya will be in at some point along with producing. I'm not sure, but like, you know, joking about, what burned down, who lost what. I don't know. It's just like it's tacky. It comes across a little tacky, as far as
Tacky
like
as hell.
yeah, the timing and just like and from what I read, 'cause I shared that Instagram link with you about some. I think let me see if I can find it. I think I'm not sure if she's an actress or activist. Um, who had a big problem with this particular. I think she's a resident of Altadena. Um, just the idea that they didn't consult anybody from the community about it. They didn't, approach it like, say, compared to like Katrina, Hurricane Katrina. I don't remember anybody floating the idea like a half hour comment about Katrina. What you got was Spike Lee's When the Levees Broke, not this. you know.
Yeah, the closest thing you came to something that was kind of making light of Hurricane Katrina was the Boondocks episode. And like you mentioned earlier with the sitcoms from the 90s, oh, that was just a episode. It's one thing
Mhm.
to do a headline of the week issues episode versus make a whole show out of it. And I
Mhm.
think it's just you know what? I'm really thinking that the show doesn't even get like officially made after all this because it's probably gonna end up like the show that was done by the creators of Game of Thrones TV, and the premise was like it was like what if the North didn't win the Civil War, what if the South won the Civil War,
Mhm.
and that show got scrapped once the block just got hot.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think
Mhm.
this may happen, but now, things are kind of weird with
Yeah.
like a lot of studios and stuff. A lot of people are just doing shit and they're just to do it. And then
Mhm.
it's like, why not? Or get over it or stop being so sensitive. So,
Mm.
Who really
Okay,
knows the fate?
so this is from the original post I saw from Angelica Perry, who is I think she's from like a New Orleans native. But also she's an artist and entrepreneur. I think I guess she has family out in California as well. And so they basically saying they're turning Altadena Fires to a comedy sitcom. Nobody in the community was consulted about it. She's saying we're still recovering. This isn't legacy. This is harm. And then why sitcom? Why now? Basically, some of the things we're saying, like of all different ways you could approach it. Why like this?
Mhm.
And with the lack of involvement from the community, because it's one thing if they went to the community and did like a hour long like documentary or like or they did like a HBO drama that was maybe a dramedy that involved people from the community and had their voices in it, but like just it just seems like it's coming and being like,
Yeah, let's use your pain as
content.
our foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's tacky.
yeah, according to the comments, there's one commenter named Milan who said that she messaged Kenya directly. I'm assuming she's saying, he said he messaged me directly. I'm assuming she's saying, referring to Kenya Barris. He said, we exchanged words that ended with him saying he's not going to use Altadena. Hopefully, it scraps the whole thing, but even if it's just a town name change, what was up his reputation is now ruined and the show will inevitably flop. And then she said, shame on CBS. So, again, this is just from the comments from that original post. Who knows? I mean, if he did post stats about it, he took the shit down because I checked his page and I don't see anything about the announcement on
Yeah,
his page or Mike Epps' page. So
yeah, it's probably gonna get scrapped. It's just it was bad already, but then now they have this type of feedback from about it, and then now it's going viral for all the wrong reasons before there's any even real casting, outside of those two. So
mm,
I think it's dead on arrival. And Kenyon, he needs to be more strategic and more detailed in the type of shows he's like shopping or wants to do. Because it's like, man, you using pain, specific black pain, universal pain as a premise of a show is just there's something that could happen that still could very well happen.
it could happen again.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
happen again. It could happen while filming. It could happen while the show's airing. So
Mm,
it's just pretty stupid, honestly. And that's just the era we live in with so many studios being horny for IP, intellectual property, because
mm,
they have so much they have so many blocks to fill. It's worse than the peak of like network television. Because network television, you only had like certain blocks. You know what I'm saying? You had like
mm,
a week and like a week and like maybe 3 hours a night to
mm.
fill with stuff. Really, not even counting like the weekend, because the weekend was kind of like just
Reruns
like
or like
reruns.
special
Right,
programming. Yeah.
right. You didn't really start seeing really true original weekend programming until like Fox with like cops and shit, and that was reality TV. And then CBS with like Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Touched by an Angel. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
But now with streaming, with so many platforms streaming, and you having to capture people's attention, you have to pump out endless product,
mm,
endless. And then, the hits, they're great, but then they have to take a break to film. So once those
mm.
hits take a break, you gotta get another hit, or get something else to get people talking. So that's just the era we live in now when it comes to TV and streaming. And you have people like that nigga Kenyon who want to just latch themselves onto something so they can get a viral moment. I mean, he might have thought like this shit never gonna get greenlit, but let's just throw the story out there. At least it'll get
Mm.
traction. So it's really slimy, sleazy tactics by people who you would expect more out of. But these niggas, they like it. Other niggas, they just trying to get a chick. So
Yeah, I mean, who knows if it'll, go forward or go forward on a different name, maybe like semi fictional type of thing. Who knows? But yeah, I think I said it's part of the timing and I guess the lack of involvement from the community. I think it's more so probably than the timing because you probably could take a series being done soon after this happened, but the idea that they're sort of coming in a way as outsiders, just plopping their production down on this neighborhood that's still in ruins, still families that haven't come back, still trying to rebuild their lives, and yet here y'all come, you know, try and do a whole show about it or and around
Hmm.
it. I'm assuming they would shoot in the area somehow, or portray the area at least, if not shooting directly in it. So.
Right. And they ain't giving nobody no money. Y'all not giving no residents no, you know, profits from the network, profits from the sponsors. It's just coming to just use them as content. But,
Mm.
what can you do?